In December, the Ministry of Health began the phased opening of the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic at the Dr. Winston C. Paris Medical Complex, replacing the Castries Wellness Center, and in an attempt to improve healthcare access in the Castries region.
The Castries Wellness Center had to be closed because of multiple reports by professionals about the infrastructure and working conditions at the health facility. Additionally, services at the Castries Health Center had to be expanded because of the increasing numbers of people from the Castries Basin who access the health center. Moreover, the Castries Health Center also served all St. Lucians who visited Castries and required health services. The idea of a polyclinic for Castries had been discussed many years ago.
The polyclinic was officially inaugurated later that month. The government also announced plans for a new polyclinic in Vieux Fort, addressing healthcare needs in the south. The Millennium Heights Medical Complex also clarified reports that the Turning Point Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation Center had been permanently closed.
So everybody that come out on radio and TV yesterday and day before and saying the place is open and they move them from mold and they move, tell them I say it's a blatant lie. I am a staff working for 29 years. I am a product for the past 30 years. So when they're ready to fire me, tell them I say 29 years, 3 months, they're going to pay me off for 30 years. I am standing still and I will be standing strong.
Complex management denied this and said that the facility was undergoing renovations with temporary relocation of some services to the former Victoria Hospital. On International Universal Health Coverage Day, the Ministry of Health's Universal Health Coverage Unit highlighted its many strides in expanding healthcare services. Gender-based violence was a major focus in December. St. Lucia launched the Interagency Gender-Based Violence Task Force in December, supported by UN Women and the Build Back Equal project to enhance prevention and response efforts through inclusive and data-driven strategies. Senator Lisa Jawahir used the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence to stress the importance of public awareness about the domestic violence bill, outlining Parliament's engagement plans for 2025. On International Human Rights Day, senators wore purple in solidarity against gender-based violence.
It constantly breaks my heart when we see certain things happening, especially the first day of the 16 days, the recognition of the 16 days of activism. There was a video circulating on social media of a woman who got beaten at a supermarket. And people are saying, wow, you know, it's so unfortunate that it happened today. But every day that it happens, it's really unfortunate. What we have done as a government when we came into office was to ensure the passage of the domestic violence bill, which has been dubbed the most progressive bill in the region. But to just pass the bill and say it is progressive is not enough. The Department of Gender Affairs has constantly been on the road educating various stakeholders on aspects of the bill.
The French Embassy in St. Lucia committed to providing 1.8 million EC dollars to provide civil society organizations through the Department of Gender Affairs as part of a Stop the Gender-Based Violence project in St. Lucia and the OECS sub-region.
To make sure that things are right and to make sure that we are transparent in terms of using the money, we have the support, which we really appreciate, of Unite Caribbean. So we are not dealing directly, we give guidelines, and then Unite Caribbean, together with various partners, organizes the action and comes back to us to make sure in a steering committee that everything's all right. I'd like to insist on this because this is a way of working which does imply people who know the ground, who know the people, who know the institutions. And that's a kind of networking as well that we want to promote.
One of the major goals of the project was to have a change in public mindsets to tackle the issue of domestic violence. Sports Minister Kenson Casimir denied knowledge of a lease agreement for the Vieux Fort base, also known as the CACABEF, involving a fuel depot, giving rise to protests from motorsports and horse racing enthusiasts about their displacement.
We discovered quite recently that the lease was signed in the year 2017. As you would know, I was not the Minister of Government, as a matter of fact. During that time, I was working with you, the media. And we discovered that quite recently. There were some speculations. We are currently, as a government, the AG chambers are currently has requested the full details for that lease. Of course, it was signed with SLASPA, and so we will find some more information from SLASPA in the coming week on what actually happened, why that lease was signed by the previous administration.
One View for the Resident raised concerns about restricted recreational access to the Kakabeth, affecting the equestrian community, and demanded that the fraternity be consulted and be part of discussions about any projects that would impact the community. Discussions between SLASPA and the St. Lucia Motorsports Association meanwhile hinted at a compromise for motorsports activities at the site. The poor conditions of the island's roads came into sharp focus in December. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire demanded better performance from NAMALCO on the West Coast Road Rehabilitation Project. NAMALCO pledged progress by Christmas following similar complaints from the NCOPT.
Of course, we've had a lot of rain for the last couple of weeks, so the roads have deteriorated beyond expectation. But we still need to take into account, the welfare of commuters, and we have to ensure that as much that can be done must be done. And I believe we have said to NAMALCO, who the roads have been handed over to, because it's a construction site, that they need to do more to make sure that commuters have an easier passage of way. Of course, it will cost them some money. Obviously, they have to do more to make sure that the road is more motorable. But they have to step up.
Senior Minister Stevenson King also expressed dissatisfaction with NAMALCO's work on the West Coast Road and outlined measures for improvement. NAMALCO again committed to better road safety and conditions. Meanwhile, Minister Stevenson King was forced to defend his track record amidst criticism of the poor state of the island's infrastructure. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force launched a new crime database to enhance enforcement and streamline information sharing. The RSLPF also announced that the police force's traffic unit would transition to the Department of Road Safety and Traffic Investigations come January 2025.
So you would find by the 17th of this month, the month of December, we will put human resources into the traffic department, where we will allow another 45 persons coming out of the training to be placed in the traffic unit. On top of that, we will train 45 riders, outriders on the motorcycles. And 15 out of these 45 riders will be placed on top of that number at the traffic unit.
Ahead of the change, 17 police officers began motorcycle training to enhance traffic law enforcement and improve overall road safety. Police also challenged the media to do a better job of highlighting resolved criminal cases to boost public trust.
Perception is as good as reality. Okay, people are dying. What is happening when people die? I can tell you, only 3 weeks ago, I was at court, and I was supposed to be giving evidence in a homicide matter that happened in 2014, for which I was the investigator. The individual pleaded guilty, and I'm sure he's going to be sentenced sometime in January or February. But 99% of the population will not know the successes. So we hear somebody is arrested, and usually when we hear arrested, people believe, oh, the police just bring you in and then they're going to drop you after.
Vernon Ogie's fatal shooting brought the island close to surpassing the 2023 homicide count, and Stefan Unovic died during an alleged robbery, underscoring concerns over gun violence. 2 armed men attempted to rob an establishment in Corinth, but were confronted by licensed firearm holders. One suspect was fatally shot, marking the island's 75th homicide for 2024.